Hello students, we're here with conditional statements, and this is really related to if you give a mouse a cookie, and that cookie looks yummy, let me tell you, things I would do to have a cookie right now. Anyway, so we have a conditional statement, and this is a huge punchline to geometry and just logic itself. Now this stuff right here, conditional statements, it's used in computer programming, believe it or not. And what do you guys use every single day? Computers. Your iPhone is actually a computer, iPad computer, you might have a laptop computer, a computer is a computer. So this is just good stuff to know in general. So a conditional statement. So you're going to use the iBook, we'll bounce to a gizmo, bounce back to the iBook, using all kinds of technology today. So a conditional statement is a statement. Wow. So a conditional statement is a statement that, or with a hypothesis, which is important. A statement with a hypothesis. And I'm struggling writing today. I'm sorry, people. You're just going to have to deal with it. Followed by a conclusion. Alright? And most of the time, a conditional statement is in if then form. Alright? So, what does that really mean? Well, first let's talk about the hypothesis. A hypothesis is what happens first in the situation. So all this stuff's right here in the iBook. If you want, you can pause the video and just read the iBook, fill out this first few parts. Or is a condition that must be met first and often follows the word if. Alright, so it's just a condition after the word if. So if you give a mouse a cookie, the hypothesis would be you give a mouse a cookie. The conclusion is what happens or what will happen if the condition, or if the hypothesis, we should say, the hypothesis is met. And it follows the word then. Alright, so hypothesis and conclusion. And another example is if it is raining, then practice is canceled. That's the conclusion, which practice is canceled. And what's really important to note is that only the hypothesis it is raining, not if, it is raining. The conclusion, practice is canceled, alright? So you don't incorporate if and you don't incorporate then. All right. So below are some scenarios from if you give a mouse a cookie. Write the following as a conditional statement. Circle the hypothesis and underline the conclusion to each statement. You may have to omit some words in order to get them grammatically correct. So this is a good time to pause the video, try this on yourself, by yourself, or you can listen to me go through it. So here we go. When you give him milk, when you give him milk, he'll probably ask for a straw. So I'm not that great at all the rules of English, but we have to try our best to make it sound grammatically correct. If you give him milk. Notice how I took out the word when. If when you give him milk just doesn't sound good, doesn't really make sense. Then he'll probably ask for a straw. All right, so it says underline or circle the hypothesis. So the hypothesis, you give him milk. The conclusion, he'll probably ask for a straw. All right, notice how if it's not included, then's not included. All right, next. When he is finished, he'll ask for a napkin. If, we're going to omit the word when, if he's finished, then he'll ask for a napkin. If you give a mouse a cookie, what a great book. There's also if you give a moose a muffin, if you give a dog a donut, the list never ends. Anyways, the hypothesis, he's finished. Conclusion, he'll ask for a napkin. Me, I would just use my sleeve. I guess the mouse is it's better mannered than I am. If he's finished giving himself a trim. So all we're doing is taking sentences, putting them in if-then form, conditional form. He'll then, then he'll want a broom to sweep up. So not only does this mouse have better manners than me, he also cleans more than me. Probably well organized. I got a lot to learn from this mouse. Anyways, hypothesis, circle it. He's finished giving himself a trim. Conclusion, he'll want a broom to sweep up. What a good old mouse does the chores. All right, so looking at some more things as we progress in the iBook. So hypothesis, it can get a lot, us mathematicians, we don't really like writing big, long words. Hypothesis. Conclusion, it can get tiresome writing these two words. So, notation for conditional statement. In this type of mathematics, from a branch of mathematics called logic, a special type of notation is used. Although there are some variations of the notations, we'll use the following. So, hypothesis, we just call P. If P, the conclusion we call Q. If P, then Q with an arrow. So you'll see this written, it's just notation. Rather than writing hypothesis then conclusion, we write P then Q. And that reads if P then Q. So we can say if you give a mouse a cookie, so the hypothesis P will be you give a mouse a cookie. Q, the conclusion will be then he will want a glass of milk. All right, so we're going to practice these skills in the iBook. There's the link to the gizmos right there. You need to log on to Gizmos. Your teacher can help you make an account if you don't have one, or you might have an existing account. You're going to go through this Gizmos, write everything down. It's nice, slick, and easy. I believe in your abilities to do it. Some Canvas follow-up questions. Then you'll go back to the iBook. So this last part, about closed statements and negations right here, and some more Canvas problems. All right, that's it for the videos. Just do the gizmos, Canvas questions, iBook notes, more Canvas questions. Ask for help, watch the videos that support you. Have a good rest of your day.